Good evening, everyone. Last week we talked about the Module 1 of MIAD 809, and today we'll discuss the Module 2 of the same course. Please, can anyone explain in just few words what we did in our first module, please? Can anyone volunteer to explain what we did in our first module? No one. We have Amotola, we have Miriam Ismail, we have Judith, Koti, Can anyone explain? Just something, anything you know about Module 1, anything you know about Module 1, just explain. Anything you know about Module 1. Anyone to volunteer? I mean, if you don't know anything about Module 1, we cannot proceed with Module 2. You have to know something about Module 1 for you to understand what we want to do in Module 2. Anyone to volunteer, please? Anyone to volunteer, please? No one to volunteer. That means we are wasting our time here if no one can even.
Actually, I was not able to complete the lectures with you, but the first part of the lecture that I was with you, I get to understand the most important concepts of the international economic relations that we talked about, the three important concepts like the politics, economy, and the international relation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So I don't know the final part of the lecture, but I will listen to it. Couldn't get time to, but I will do that later on. But for this part, the three concepts, I'm so okay with that. Like I could remember what we talk about.
Thank you very much.
About the politics, economy, and the international relation, the power, and
Thank you very
how
much.
the power is divided, the tangible power and the intangible. Like the tangible is the hard power, and the intangible is the soft power. So
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that you bail the class, because it won't make any sense that we have to talk about Module 2 and no one know anything about Module 1. So in case you were not part of our class when we did our Module 1, you can watch the videos. I've sent it in the group. So today we are talking about Module 2, and in the Module 2, let me just off my camera, please. Just give me 1 minute, please. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. In Module 2, we talked about why country trade and what are the theories that are in global trading. So you might notice that countries in the world, they are not alone. They are not working in solitary. They work with other countries, because no country can survive on its own. So you have to interact with another country to survive. But the question will now remain: why do countries trade? This is an important question we need to ask our students studying international economic politics or political economy. So why do countries trade? The first reason why the country trade is, we have 5 major reasons rather why country trade. And the first, sorry. So we have 5 major reasons why country trade, and the first reason why country trade is that no country can survive alone. So you cannot produce everything alone. Even if you have the mineral resources, you need others to provide other things you need. We give an example of Nigeria. Nigeria produce oil, why we export it outside, why we import also cars made in another country. Ghana produce cocoa, they export it and they import something. The same thing, the UK also have its own. All countries in the world, cannot produce everything. Even China, as big as they are, even America, as big as they are, they cannot produce everything in the world. So there are some things you take from other countries, why you also send some other thing to them. The number one reason is no country can produce everything because you have to depend on another country for some other thing. Even when we talk about iPhone, we know iPhone is not produced in Africa, but some part of iPhone are taken from Congo. And so they are taken from part of Africa in Congo. So no country can survive on its own and no country can produce everything on its own. That's number one reason. While the number two reason is trade made goods cheaper. International trade made goods cheaper. So we are in Nigeria and we can order things directly from China at cheaper rate and sell it to get profit. The same thing is applicable to when countries trade together. So if Nigeria today decide to be manufacturing cars, it will be very expensive for them than to ship it from another country, either from China or from Japan to Nigeria. Get so in some things that you provide, you manufacture. So sometimes you can manufacture things yourself, but it can be expensive if you manufacture yourself than importing into your country. So international trade makes trade more cheaper. Listen, so today we have, in the case of in Nigeria, we have I think one Igbo man like this that manufacture cars. I don't know the name. I forgot the name of the car he manufactured in Nigeria. So compare the price of the car you manufacture to what people are importing to Nigeria every day. You will see that what they are importing to Nigeria every day are cheaper. You get, so that is why international trade also comes to facilitate transaction and to make things cheaper for people. Am I communicating, please?
Yes.
Thank you very much. The third reason why countries trade is because trade gives access to new technology. It gives access to new technology. And so there are some technology that we don't have in Africa that is being transferred from Asia to Africa. And without international trade, there is no way we'll be exposed to this technology. You get? So let's look at the spread of smartphone. Smartphone was not first manufactured in Africa, but we are using it in Africa. If not that there is international trade, there is no way we will have been benefiting from having smartphone. In the United Kingdom, some of you are in Lagos, some of you are in Ibadan, some of you are in Abuja, but we are communicating together. This is because of the international trade that phone as an entity put in place. So without international trade, there is no way we'll have access to some technology. Okay? So the fourth reason why countries trade is that, so countries, there are some countries that specialize in what they do. Understand? So, for instance, as I mentioned in the first reason, we cannot manufacture everything. You get? So some countries they are specialized in some things and they have it in abundance. So for them to get money, they have to send it outside. Let me take the example of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has oil in abundance. So they trade it with other countries that don't have oil. Kenya, on its own part, they have tea in Kenya. So Kenya trade tea to some part of Africa and some part of Europe. Japan also make automobile, motors, cars, and the likes. You get? So what you have in abundance, you trade it with people outside your country because they don't have it, but you have it in abundance. Understand? So the fifth reason is trade creates economic growth and jobs. International trade creates economic growth and jobs. Today, e-commerce, let's take the case of Jumia or Konga, let me take the e-commerce. So you see, e-commerce, sometimes from Jumia, you can order some goods that they will ship from China to you. Some goods are on pre-order, so you cannot get it instantly. So economic growth and jobs, people get job through the international trade. Understand? So we know China has been developed, is developed to a stage. So when China trades with other nations, is to boost the economy of both China and the recipient country, and at the same time creating jobs for the recipient country. Am I communicating? Am I alone? Thank you.
Yes.
I thought I was alone. So these are the 5 reasons why country trade, and there are more reasons why country trade. But moving to this to the end of the course, you understand that why a country must trade. Even today, that America is fighting China, there is economic war between America and China, but they still trade together. They still trade, but even if they are having economic clash, they still trade because no country can stand on its own without depending on another country. So the percentage of depending on another country will now matter. Are you depending on them like more than 50% or 70% or 80% or just 5%? So that is it. Now, we'll talk about the theories of trade, or let me just say theory of international trade. So we have two theories. This theory is classified into two. We have the classical theory, international trade, and the modern international trade. So it is classified into two, the classical one and the modern one. When we say classical, we talked about the olden one, the traditional one. So the traditional way and the modern way. So the classical and the modern theories of international trade. Understand? Under the classical theories of international trade, we have 3 types under them. I hope I'm not too fast. So under the classical theories of international trade, we have 3 types under them. The first type is absolute advantage. Absolute advantage. This was propelled by Adam Smith. Absolute advantage. This was propelled by Adam Smith. It was propelled by Adam Smith. I will just bring out the transcription so you can see the transcription in case you don't know how to write this, some things. So, absolute advantage, it was propelled by Adam Smith. The second type under the classical theory is a comparative advantage. This person. The second reason is comparative advantage. Comparative advantage was propelled by David Ricardo. So comparative advantage was propelled by David Ricardo. While the third one under the classical theories of international trade is the HO theory, H/O theory. So HO theory. But HO, the meaning of HO is, let me just spell it for you. Should I spell it or I should just read it out?
Spell it.
Okay.
Spell it, please.
SK. Am I talking?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm not concentrating into this class. I'm sorry. Let me start from the beginning. I'm sorry. So I'll start from the beginning. HECKSSCHER. Did you get it? Or I should repeat it?
Repeat it, please.
Okay. We have HECKS CHER. And you now put hyphen. After putting hyphen, you put OHLIN. Can someone pronounce it?
Akanji, you have to do this. You have to pronounce it. I was waiting for you to finish spelling so that you can pronounce it.
We cannot pronounce.
Olin Cherry. Olin Cherry. That's the HO theory. The HO theory. HO theory. Now let's talk about these three theory under the classical theories of international trade. The number one is the absolute advantage theory that was propelled by Adam Smith. So the core belief of this theory is that countries should produce what they can make efficiently than others. A country should produce what it can make efficiently than others. You might be capable to do everything, but you should make what others cannot do more than you. So you make what you can produce efficiently than other countries. You get? So the absolute, let me just give an example for you to understand. The absolute advantage Brazil has other country is coffee. Brazil has the best coffee. That's an absolute advantage. You get? So Saudi Arabia absolute advantage is crude oil. Saudi Arabia absolute advantage is crude oil. China absolute advantage is manufactured goods at cheaper rate, because China has labor force in population. So in population, they are more in population, so they have the labor force. So they manufacture goods like toys, phone, electronics, and the likes. So what you can produce efficiently than others, just focus on it and you'll be making your money there. So not that you'll be doing A and B and C and D, and at the end of it, we don't see the result. So just focus on what you can do best while you leave others to import them. So when you focus on what you can do best, you can send them out, you make money, and you import others to your country. Understand? Let me just give you an example now. That was when there was clash between USA and China. Bangladesh, the country Bangladesh, we know Bangladesh to be very powerful when it comes to textile. They make bags, they make clothes, they make designers. And most of your designer you wear, you will be surprised that most of your designer you wear are from Bangladesh. But you will see it in stores in USA, you will see it in stores in America, in UK. You get it? So you just focus on what you can make best than others. You get it? So that's the number one. The number two is the comparative advantage theories of international trade. This one was propelled by David Ricardo, and this is the most important theory in international trade. It's the most important theory in international trade. So the core belief of this theory is that even if a country is good at producing everything, it should still specialize in good where it has the lowest opportunity cost. Even if a country can produce everything in the world, it should specialize in product or goods where it has the lowest opportunity cost. So this tells us what a country should specialize on in order to benefit from trade. It tells us what a country should specialize on in order to benefit from trade. So the belief of this theory is that a country should produce things it can do cheaply. A country should produce things it can do cheaply and efficiently. Understand? A country should produce things it can do cheaply and efficiently. Now, let me just give you an example of Nigeria for you to understand this comparative trade. Now, let's take Nigeria oil sector and the manufacturing sector. Let's take the Nigeria oil sector and the manufacturing sectors. We know Nigerian we have oil, we have plastic, we have rice and cars in Nigeria. We produce them. We produce cars in Nigeria. We produce rice. We produce plastic. We produce oil. But if Nigeria government want to focus on international trade, they will not focus on cars. They will not focus on plastic. They will not focus on rice. But they will focus on oil, because it is very easy for Nigeria to produce crude oil, to produce oil. but it will cost us more money to produce car because of the part of the vehicle. We don't have it. So it will cost us more money to produce car. So instead, we focus on what we can produce cheaply so that we can get more profit. If we decide to focus on producing car, it will be expensive. People will not buy it. They will prefer to buy it from outside. So we will produce oil because we can do it cheaply, and we take car from China, or we take Japan. We call Japan or Germany. We take product from them. So we will not look at I think in what is the name of this manufacturing company in Nigeria? It's an Igbo name. He's an Igbo man.
Innocent.
Thank you very much. Innocent. We will not
Yeah.
of produce cars. We say he can produce car, but we will not focus on that part. That let us put all our energy on that man. Because if we put all our energy on that man, the cars we will produce are going to be expensive than most of the cars that will come from outside. So we focus on what we can produce cheaply so that we can make more profit. So you compare and contrast things you can make cheaply. Because cars are cheaper in other countries. So if we bring it in Nigeria, it will be cheaper. So oil is cheaper in Nigeria. If we take it there, we can make profit from them. So that's a comparative advantage of the international trade theory. You get? The third one is the Eched-Olin theory, which is also known as the HO theory. It's known as HO theory. This theory believes that country export goods that they are in abundance of, like goods that you have in abundance of resources. That is what you export out. And import, they require resources they lack. They export goods that they have in abundance and import goods they lack. You understand? The resources they lack, they import it to the country. The one they have in abundance, they take it out. This explains why Nigeria exports oil more than any other commodity. It explains why Nigeria exports oil, because we have it in abundance. We have it in abundance, so that is why we export it out. But when we export it out, we bring in refined petroleum. Look at it. We take crude oil outside the country and we bring refined petroleum to Nigeria, which means we cannot do refined petrol in Nigeria. So we export it outside for people to refine it, and they bring us, refined petroleum. That is why Dangote is working hard to make sure that Nigeria can do refine crude oil. Dangote is really working hard to make sure that we don't take everything outside, that we do it inside also, so that it can serve us and we send small outside. So we have in abundance crude oil we take out, but they refine the crude oil we take out and they sell us back crude oil, refined crude oil. You understand? So China, on their own part, they have labor in abundance. When I say labor, they are staff, they have workers in abundance. China has staff in abundance. We all know that one. So the staff they have, they manufacture goods, and these goods they manufacture, they take them outside. Understand? Germany on their own, they have capital intensive. So they borrow money. Understand? They give loans. So what you have in abundance, you take them out and you bring in what you are lacking. That is what this Eched-Olin theory is saying, the HO theory. Am I communicating?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So now ask yourself why trade is important.
Yes, you are.
You know, we've talked about why countries do trade, but let's ask ourselves why trade is important. Son, why country must do trade? Why they must do trade? Why they must do transaction with another country? The number one reason why country trade is because trade supports economic growth. So trade support economic growth. China became richer because of the trade they are doing with other countries. The manufacturing of goods and products, they become richer because of it. Listen, the same thing in Nigeria. Nigeria is regarded as a giant of Africa. Part of the reason is
Sorry, please. Did you say economic boost?
growth, growth.
Okay.
Listen, so that's number one reason. The number two reason is that trade reduce price for consumer. Trade reduce price for consumer. See, the reason smartphone is very affordable today is because they are produced in global value chain. China, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, they produce phones. So they send them out at cheaper rate. Aside from that one, some people can just go on Alibaba from Nigeria. You can just go on Alibaba and just say you want to buy TV instead of buying it from your local market in Nigeria. Just you want to buy TV. And it's going to be more cheaper, even with delivery to your doorstep in Nigeria. It's going to be more cheaper than you buying it in your local market beside your house. So it reduces the prices for consumers. That's the second reason. The third reason is trade spread technology. Trade spread technology. Nigeria as a country, India, or any developing countries benefited from trade because it boosts their technology. If we talk about computers, medical equipment, machinery, we don't manufacture them, but we take them from other countries. So through what we take from, see, today some people might be wondering why is it that our politicians leave Nigeria to another country for health reason to go and treat themselves. It's because we don't have the necessary equipment. So instead of for us to have the necessary equipment, we must trade it. We must trade with another country to supply us. So through trade, you have the necessary technology in your country. You will not be outdated. Understand? The fourth reason is trade encourage innovation.
Oh, she not only her brother's office. Yes. Okay, I brought like 7 years.
Sorry, I just moved to her. So the fourth reason is that trade encourage innovation and quality. It encourage innovation and quality. Now, let's take the example. You have a Toyota, you have Honda, you have Mercedes, you have all sorts of cars. You understand? They compete with each other. That they want to take part of Africa. So they compete with each other. They make things cheaper. When I was working with Techno Mobile Company, you see, we have Techno, we have Infinix, we have itel, we have iPhone and the like. When you look at the phone of these 6 companies, all the mobile phone companies, you will see that they are competing with each other to make good phones, cheaper phone, quality phone. So because they want to take a larger percentage of the market, so they make things, they make quality things and they innovate. When you look at iPhone, the first iPhone was 1 camera. They changed to 2 cameras. They changed to 3 cameras. They put AI. So competition in the world market will make people to innovate and produce something that is quality enough. Am I communicating?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Why the last one is trade promote peace and cooperation. Trade promote peace and cooperation. See, there is economic war between China and the USA, but that doesn't stop the two countries to do business together. Up to today, China and USA do business together. Even they are still fighting economically. There is economic war, but they still do business together. So if China on their own say, okay, we cannot benefit from USA. Americans say we cannot benefit from China. They can be fighting each other. But because of the transaction that still exists between this country, they have to maintain cooperation and peace. The only thing they can do is to be increasing price, tariff price. Maybe if China want to bring in something to their country, they put export price, import price to be high. So it promotes peace and cooperation. So my neighbor has something I don't have. He need what I have. I need what he wants. So we trade it together. Even if we are fighting, we trade it together to have it. Understand? So can I proceed, please?
Yes,
sir.
But before I proceed, I just want someone to list the five reason why trade is important. Someone should list it for me, please.
Okay, so trade supports economic growth.
Okay.
Trade reduce price for consumers. Trade spread technology. Trade encourages innovation and quality. And trade promote peace and cooperation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That means we are following. Now, we've talked about the classical theory of international trade. Now we talk about the modern one. The modern one. We have the protectionist, which is the theory of protectionism. You can see it on the screen. Protectionism. That's the modern theory of international trade. Listen, protectionism. Now, what is protectionism? What is protectionism? This simply means when a government...
Sorry, the modern trade is known as protectionism?
No, the modern theory. Under the modern theory, the number one modern theory...
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. So, protectionism. Now, protectionism simply means when a government or the way a government try to protect local industry from foreign competition. Understand? Like the process a government put in place to protect local industry from foreign competition. That is protectionism. To protect something, to protect local industry from foreign competition. So, what is the leader putting in place to protect local industry? In 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari closed border because he wants to protect our farmers, that they should be producing rice themselves. Part of the reason is they should be producing rice themselves, that we should be eating local products instead of importing rice. You understand? So I remember that was the time they stopped importing frozen food. Understand? Most of the turkey or chicken we eat in Nigeria that are frozen, most of them are taken from abroad. So that was the time they stopped taking them from abroad. So protecting local industry from competition. Understand? So a country can put in several measures to protect its local industry. Understand? Because sometimes competitors may be cheaper when it comes to. I give the example of that company manufacturing cars in Nigeria. Understand? So it's a bit expensive than bringing in car. So if the government wants to protect him, they can find a way to stop us from bringing car from outside. We'll be forced to buy from him. But there is no plan for now to protect him. So protectionism is just a simple term to protect local industry from global competition. Now, instead of allowing free trade, protectionism. So free trade means that anybody is free to bring their good. Anybody is free to come. So instead of allowing free trade, a protectionist or a government put barriers around national economy so that those providing things locally can survive. One thing that killed Nigerian textile industry is because they are not protected. You can buy clothes cheaper from outside Nigeria than buying it in Nigeria. So Nigerian textile industry is not functioning because there is no protectionism under that under that sector. You understand? So why government use protectionism? Why government sometimes protect local industries? Why government protect local industries? The number one reason why government protect local industry is they protect infant industry. Listen, to protect infant industry or startup. They protect infant industries or startup. Now, this means that they want startup to grow to a level they can send something outside. They can also export something outside. But if you are not protecting your startup, nobody will be encouraged to create a business or a company, to establish a company. So government put barriers or sanctions or plan to protect them. So in the rice industry, for instance, now, today, we're saying that we don't want to be eating foreign rice. We want to be eating our local rice. So the government also, during Buhari regime, it closed borders so that we will not be importing local, internal foreign rice, so that Nigerian farmers can grow and sell their products. So it is now left onto the farmer to see if the products are cheaper or are expensive. Understand? So that's the number one reason. Number two reason is reduce unemployment. The reason why government use protectionism is to reduce unemployment. So if we import everything to our country, if Nigeria as a country is importing everything, local factory will close down. And with local factory close down, there will be a higher rate of unemployment. Understand? So in India, for instance, what the government in India is doing that they put restriction on Chinese low-cost electronics. Anything China is manufacturing that is low-cost, they put restriction on it. You know, China has it in abundance. That is why they are exporting. But Indian government put, a restriction on it that any low-cost product from China must not enter Indian territory. Just a way to protect local factories. You understand? The number three reason is national security. Some country may protect industry that are very strategic. Let me give you an example now. The United States of America does not want 5G network, some 5G network apparatus in its territory due to security reasons. They believe that through the 5G network apparatus, they can spy on them. China can spy on them. So they don't want China to spy on them. So for security reasons, they put, a restriction on it that we don't want some apparatus in our country. Instead of that, they manufacture, they do it themselves instead of bringing it from China. Understand? The fourth reason is protect local culture and identity. Protect local culture and identity. So let me just take the example of France. France is not displaying. If you've ever been to Paris before, you notice that they stop foreign media content in order to protect their own media. So any foreign media content, they stop it. So you will notice that with Nigeria, our Nollywood, our Afrobeat is crossing outside Nigeria. People from UK, people from Cote d'Ivoire, people from China, people from Japan, they listen to our Afrobeat, they watch our movies. But if a country wants to promote its media, they will stop it from entering the territory. The same thing applicable to France. So they block foreign media content to protect the local culture. The more, look at Nigeria now. The more we watch American movies, we tend to dress like American. We tend to speak like American. We tend to, even the music, some people sing it word for word. So for us to promote our own, we need to stop their own culture to be transferred indirectly to our own territory. The fifth reason why government use protectionism is to raise government revenue. To raise government revenue, like to raise the profit of the government. So let me just give you an example now. If you export more of what your local industry make, you tend to make money. But if you import more, you are making them richer. So in order to make your own people richer, you encourage them to manufacture more and send to another country. So protectionism is aimed at making government to profit, government to raise money, government to have revenue. Understand? So which number am I?
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay. The sixth one is retaliation. Retaliation. That's the sixth one. Retaliation. You will notice that retaliation means that.
Sorry, excuse me, Akanji.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I got the fifth one. I am on the fourth one, which says to raise government revenue.
Yeah.
Or is that the fifth one?
That's the fifth one.
Okay, then I missed one.
Can anyone start from the beginning, just so that she can catch up?
So number 1 is to protect infant industries or startups.
Yes, I got that.
Number 2, to reduce unemployment.
Yes, I got that.
3, for national security.
Yes.
4, protect local culture and identity.
Okay.
Before the fifth one that you have.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So the sixth one, retaliation. Retaliation means that what a country do you need to pay them back. You do me, I do you. Now, let's take the case of China and USA. So there's trade war between these two countries. If from China you want to bring things to the USA, there is tariff imports, which means that there is more tax you will pay. You pay more money to bring things to the US from China. Likewise, it is America that started for the first. So China now retaliate that if you also want to take things from USA to China, you pay higher money. You get it? So it is what you do me, I do you. So if you want us to trade well without fighting, you bring down your tax, your import, your import tariff, and also bring my import tariff. You get it? So these are 6 major reasons why. There are more reasons why protectionism occur, but these are 6 major reasons why they occur. But the question now is, what are the tools or methods used by protectionists when a government is protectionist? What are the tools or methods they use? So if you're in a country and you see these things, you must know that the government is trying to protect local industry. The number 1 method or tools they use is tariff import tax. Which means that if you're importing something from outside, let's say Nigeria now, today Nigeria is trying to protect our local farmers to produce more rice. So if you are, for instance, if you are producing more rice, foreign rice, you are importing more foreign rice, you pay more tax. So if you don't want to pay more tax, it's better you patronize our local farmers. So you have 2 options. If you want to pay more tax, take it from outside, bring it to Nigeria. But if you don't want to pay more tax, but patronize our local farmers. Understand? So a tariff is like a tax placed on imported goods. So those that are working in the airport or in the importing and export industry, they will know. So a tariff is the tax they put on all imported goods. This makes foreign goods expensive. It makes foreign goods expensive so that people can buy local products. So the easiest way for Nigerian government to encourage people to buy the locally made cars is to put more tax on imported cars. You get. So sometimes in the UK, if you want to buy a car in the UK, for instance, it can be £2,000. That's 4 million. But to send it to Nigeria with the tax, everything can enter 7 million. From 4 million, it goes to 7 million. So instead of putting 7 million, maybe you can see a car made in Nigeria, maybe 5 million. So in order to encourage people to buy locally made products, the government put high tax on imported products. That's the number one reason. Number two reason is quota. The method the government use in protectionism. Number two reason is quota. Number two reason is quota. Quota means limiting the quantity of goods that must come to a country. Limiting the quantity of goods that must come to a country. I'll give you an example now. The EU, which is the European Union, they have a limit of the numbers or the quantities of sugar that must come to the EU territory. Not only one country in EU, all the countries in EU's European Union. So they have they want to protect those people that produce those people that produce sugar are the local producer of sugar in the EU territories. They want to protect them. So to protect them, they make a law that there should be a quantity of sugar that must be sent from outside to EU territory. So a quota. So if you don't want things to come to your country, you need them to come to your country, but you don't want them in abundance because your local industry also make it. You put a quota to what must come to your country. Number three is import ban or prohibition. Import ban or prohibition. This is complete restriction on certain imported goods. Complete restriction, complete banning of some certain goods. So in Nigeria, in the case of Nigeria, there was a time that was frozen chicken was banned to come to Nigeria. Toothpick, before Nigeria import toothpick, normal toothpick that we can just go to the bush and get something to do it. Normal toothpick, Nigeria imported, but there was a time they banned it. Rice also, foreign rice. Although people bring foreign rice, you notice that during Buhari regime, there was a time he closed the border just to protect our foreign, our local farmer. So foreign rice. So when a country decides to put a prohibition or ban it from the territory, so that is part of the protectionist method, what a government put in place. So number four is subsidies. Subsidies, you see, we do hear subsidies in Nigeria most time, especially the beginning of an administration, that the government will talk about subsidies. So the government gives money to local industry. They give money to local industry so that they can produce something cheap. The reason why our local industry produce things that are expensive is because they spend a lot of money. But if the government give them money to produce some things, they will sell it at cheaper and affordable rate to people. So subsidies is also a way the protectionists use to promote local industries. The sixth one is standard and regulation. So standard and regulation means that the country might put a law that says that some product that you want to bring to our country does not follow our health and safety rules. Example, in the European Union, they forbid some product from Africa to come to European Union. Like some product from Africa cannot enter the territory we call European Union because it does not follow the health and safety or the standard regulation. So you make a law that this thing we don't want in our country because if we take it in our country, it might cause health hazard. It might cause problem to our people. So these are the 5 major ways. There are more ways a government can protect its local industry, but these are 5 major ways government put in place to protect its local industry. I hope I'm not too fast. Can someone read the 5 ways for me, please? The 5 methods. Can someone read the 5 methods for me?
Okay. Number 1.
Tariff.
What you said? Tariff import tax.
Thank you.
Number 2, you said quota system.
Yeah. Can you explain that quota system before you proceed?
Okay, the quota system, you said, according to what you said it's limiting the quantity of goods allowed or permitted in a country.
Thank you very much. You can continue.
Okay, so number 3, import ban or prohibition. 4, subsidy. And 5, standard and regulation.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can we proceed? Can we proceed?
Yes, we can.
Very much.
Okay.
So then before we proceed, I just want to mention some examples of protectionism by countries. Nigeria, I've mentioned Nigeria in 2019, where we closed our closure of land borders to protect local farmers. We have India banning TikTok. Indian banned TikTok from the territory, and many Chinese apps just to encourage the local industry also to produce some apps on their own, and for security reason also. So most of our apps, they believe that they use it to spy on us. So that's why Indian ban TikTok and more Chinese app. And European Union, they restrict 5G from China in their territory due to national security. Most people believe that 5G China is producing, they are using it to spy on other countries. So in the European Union, they restrict 5G. US and China, there is tariff. They put tariff on each other. So if you want to take good from China to US, the price is high. From US to China, the price is high. So you do me, I do you. So these are some of the examples that you might see that are happening in contemporary world politics. Now we'll proceed to the next topic, which is globalization. Globalization. Globalization, this is the interconnectedness and interdependence of countries. You can see it on the screen below here. The transcription is there. The interconnectedness and interdependence of countries through trade, investment, finance, technology, information, and movement of people. Globalization is the interconnectedness and interdependence of country. Interconnectedness and interdependence of country through trade, investment, finance, technology, information, and movement of people. It's also the process.
Sorry, through trade, technology?
finance, technology, information, and the movement of people. Can I proceed? Oh,
Yes.
wow. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Now, it is also the process by which the world is becoming more connected and integrated. It's also the process by which the world is more connected and integrated. So the world is integrated through five ways. We are in the world. We are connected through 5 ways. I'm in the UK. I'm speaking with you in Nigeria. So we are connected indirectly. You said so. The world is connected and interrelated, integrated through 5 ways. International trade. That's number 1. International trade. Number 2, capital flow and investment. People from UK, they send money to people from Nigeria. They send money to people in Nigeria. So a country borrow money from another country. So capital flow and investment. Number 3, information communication technology, ICT. Information and communication technology, ICT, which means our phones that we are using. You are in Nigeria, you're speaking with me, I'm in UK. So through that one, we are connected globally. Number 4, movement of people and idea. People move easily through aeroplane, through cars, through boats. Movement of people and idea. Number 5, worldwide cultural interaction. Worldwide cultural interaction. You see our Nollywood has passed through Nigeria. People outside Nigeria watch Nollywood, even the Afrobeat. People outside Nigeria listen to Afrobeat music. So as we are listening to them, the Americans, the Hollywood, the Indian, the Bollywood. So cultural exchange and cultural interaction. So in short, when we talk about globalization, in short, it makes the world to look like a global market or a global village. It makes the world to look like a global village. We are talking together now. It seems like maybe we are in the classroom together, but we are not in the same country. We don't have the same time zone. We are not. We are all from different areas. Some people are in Bauchi. Some people are in Adamawa. I can see some people from Lagos and Abuja. So globalization make the world to look like a global village or a global market. I don't want to be fast. Should I proceed?
Yes, Akanji, but sorry to my network break. I don't know. You list 5 things. What are they?
I was explaining how countries interconnect and integrate together when we talk about globalization.
Sorry, Akanji, I also lost you from the definition of globalization.
Okay.
I lost you through the network.
Can anyone explain that, or can anyone tell us the definition according to what I said now?
Okay, if I may.
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay, it says globalization is the interconnectedness and interdependence of a country through trade, investment, finance, technology, information, and movement of people.
Okay. Did you get that? Who asked for itself?
Yes, I did. It was me.
Okay. She should continue.
Okay,
it's okay.
Yeah, please carry on.
She should continue. I should continue.
Anyone is fine.
No,
she lost you from the definition. I wanted to catch the 5 things.
I
There
lost
is
you from the
trade.
definition.
Yes.
continue. Awa Waziri, you can continue.
I'm sorry, Akanji, I wanted to catch the 5 things like the trade,
Okay.
finance, technology, investment, and
We have international trade. We interconnect and integrate together through international trade, capital flow and investment, information and communication technology, ICT, the movement of people and idea. That was the fourth one. The movement of people and idea.
yes.
The fifth one is worldwide cultural interaction. Worldwide cultural interaction.
I get it now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, and I mentioned that globalization makes the world to look like a global village, because from Nigeria you can transact with anybody in any part of the world. So far there is network there, you can talk with them through your mobile phone or your computer and the likes. So now, major features of globalization. What are the major features of globalization? Major features of globalization. Major features of globalization. The number one features of globalization is movement of capital. Movement of capital. Movement of capital. Movement of capital. This means that money pass through borders. So a lot of money pass through borders. You want to buy something in China. From Nigeria, it is very easy for you to send your money. From UK, it's very easy to send money to Nigeria. Listen, so money pass through border easily through investment, international lending, or foreign direct investment. So countries, you see countries today, for them to lend, for them to borrow money, it's very easy for them to get money. They can either get it through foreign direct investment or international lending through international IMF, International Monetary Fund, IMF. So today you hear that Tinubu borrow money. Tomorrow you also hear that you want another country to go and borrow money. It's not that they will give him in Ghana must go. No. Through globalization, they have a way to transfer the certain amount you need to your country. That's the first one. The first one. The second one is growth international trade. The growth of international trade. The growth of international trade. Trade between countries has grown massively. Listen, trade between countries has grown massively due to lower border closure, or let me say just due to lower trade barrier, cheaper transportation and logistic. So countries easily transact with each other because there is no barrier. Assuming that they put a barrier that you must not buy goods from this country.
Oh, please, Akanji, I didn't get that part.
Growth of international trade. Growth of international trade.
Okay.
You see, the international trade between countries has grown massively because you will see that some of the equipment we need in Nigeria, we have to take it from outside country. And this is because there is no trade barrier between countries. Understand? So World Trade Organization has an agreement. World Trade, that's the international body in charge of how do you call it? Trade. So the World Trade Organization, which is WTO, World Trade Organization, they have an agreement that there should be free trade in some part, in some aspect. Some aspect there might be how do you call it? Tax, import tax, but some aspect there is free trade, which facilitate country to transact together when it comes to business. So growth of trade internationally. The fourth one is global production network. Global production network. The global production network. Countries now produce goods in many countries. I'll give you an example of iPhone now. iPhone, people believe that iPhone is produced in USA, which is a big lie. It's not produced in USA. You understand? iPhone is not produced in USA. iPhone is designed in the USA. The ships, what do you say? Somebody wants something? Okay. So iPhone is designed in the USA. The chips they use in iPhone is from Taiwan. It is manufactured in Taiwan. iPhone is assembly in China. Look at the connection. They design it. They do the, how do you call it? They design it. They give the prototype of what they want. But what will make the phone to function? They get it from Taiwan, but the assembly of that phone is from China. You understand? And when they make it from China, they now sell it globally. So global production network, there are some things you cannot produce in your country. Even some things in iPhone are taken from Congo. Understand now? Congo is very, very rich in mineral resources. That is why up to today they are fighting, because all the powerful nations, they want to exploit them. So the production of things, if you cannot make everything, you take some from another country. You take some from another country and you make what you want to produce. Look at our farmers. Today, if our farmers want to plant, some crops, they have to take fertilizer from outside Nigeria because we don't use fertilizer. Even if we produce it in very low quantity. Yes, sir. So the fourth one is under this one is technological advancement. The fourth one is technological advancement. When we talk about internet, satellite, mobile phone, this make communication very instant. As I'm speaking now, you can hear me directly. Not that you hear me tomorrow. This is because of globalization, the ICT, information communication technology. So it makes communication direct and instant and easy. So the fifth one is increased role of global institution. Increased role of global institution. Increased role of global institution. So international organizations have shaped global economic role. So let's talk about IMF. What's the full meaning of IMF? Can anyone tell me here?
International Monetary Fund.
Thank you very much. What's the full meaning of WTO?
World Trade Organization.
What's the meaning of UN?
United Nations.
What's the meaning of WB?
World Bank.
Thank you very much. So these organizations I mentioned, they influence international trade indirectly. Now, through International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, Nigeria receive loan when you need money. Understand now? So through them, we get money. And in return, they also play some interest on us. Maybe we borrow 10 billion US dollar. Maybe we'll pay it with 20 billion US dollar. So through this organization, the role of international or global institution has also increased. Listen, so someone said the net, I think someone said our network is not good. That's Fatima. She said my network is unstable. She said our network is unstable. So before we proceed, can anyone list the major features of globalization? I don't know if you are here with me. Let me just take off. Yeah, you can just list the features of globalization.
Are you with me? Can you hear me, please?
Sure, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so movement of capital, growth of international trade, global production network, technological advancement, increased role of global institutions.
Thank you very much. Now, we will proceed to the drivers of globalization or key forces that push globalization. The drivers of globalization or key forces that push globalization. If globalization exists, what are the things that push globalization to exist? Number one, we have 5 major drivers or factors that push globalization. The number one is technological innovation. Number one is technological innovation. Technological innovation. If we talk about internet, smartphone, satellite, cheap flight, this makes things to be easier. It makes the world to be interconnected together. The e-commerce and the e-banking, the online banking and the e-commerce, look at the way they work together. With your online bank and your e-commerce app, let's say Konga or Jumia, you can easily order something. Let me just take Nigeria as an example. From Abuja, you can easily order something in Oshobo, in Osun State. And from Osun State, they will deliver to you in Abuja through Jumia. So the same thing is applicable to the world trade. So through this, through internet, through satellite, through cheap flight or your mobile phone, countries interact together to get things easily within the twinkle of an eye. They want to get things, it's very easy for you to get it through our cell phone, through our mobile phone. So the advanced level of technology make globalization to exist. Unless technology is not existing again, that is where we will say globalization is dying. But so far as there is advanced level of technology, globalization will continue to exist. That's number one. Number two is growth of multinational cooperation. The growth of multinational cooperation. There have been, when we say multinational cooperation, there are companies, big companies that are not existing in our country. They are not in our country. They are in another country. But they want us to benefit in what they manufacture. So they establish themselves in our territory. They establish themselves. Let me just give you an example of ShopRite. ShopRite is not a Nigerian company. It's South Africa. But we have ShopRite in Nigeria, right? So ShopRite is known as multinational corporation. Let's take MTN. MTN also is not a Nigerian company. It's a South African company. But they are in Nigeria. Shell, the like of Chevron. So this company, they also want to invest in our country. So we have many multinational corporations in Nigeria, and this multinational corporation make globalization easy. Things that we cannot manufacture, they from their company, they establish their branch or subsidiary or headquarter in Nigeria, and they make us to benefit from it. The number 3 reason is a global financial market. The global financial market. Global financial market. Country have access to global capital easily through globalization. Today, through IMF, if Nigeria wants to borrow 100 billion, they can get it. They can get it. So the available resources that you cannot, the scarce resources that you cannot get in your country, through globalization, you can get the capital you need to implement some policies or to do some things in your country. So you get capital globally with a tickle of an eye. You get it. You just need to sign some papers and they give you what you want. The fourth one is liberation. That's a liberalism policy. Liberalism policy is free trade. there is free trade between countries. So in Africa, we have something I don't know if anybody can tell me. What's the full meaning of AFCTA? AFCTA. What's the full meaning of AFCTA? Can anyone tell me this? AFCTA.
I don't know that one.
So that's
African Continental
okay.
Trade Agreement.
Thank you very much. African Continental Free Trade area. African Continental Free Trade Area.
Okay.
Which means that among African countries,
African Continental Free Trade Area.
so among African countries, there are some goods and services, there are some goods and products that you feel transport without them taxing you too much. That this is an agreement between African countries. In Lagos, we have some free trade zone, which means there are some products you can easily transport from one country to another in Africa without them taxing you. That's a free trade zone. So if you are outside this product, you might get more taxed. But if you are within this product, the business will be smooth without them taxing you too much. Am I communicating? The last one, the fifth one is international institutions. So the growth of international institutions has made globalization to exist. So now, if we have to talk about the likes of WTO, IMF, and the likes, since they exist, that means they have to also partake in globalization to facilitate, transaction between countries. So if they don't exist, maybe globalization might not exist to a stage, but so far as we have the international institution, there is transaction between trade, and these are the 5 reasons why these are the 5 factors that push globalization, or the drivers of globalization. Can anyone read the 5 for me, please? Can anyone read the 5 for me?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You can go ahead then.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, the first one is technological innovation, such as the satellite, the internet, the chip light, and the rest. The second one is growth of multinational corporation. Example, you made mention of the ShopRite, the Shell, Chevron, and MTN. The third one is global financial market, where you talked about access to global capital, easy access to global capital rather. Example is through the IMF. And the fourth one is, I don't know the word, is it liberalism?
Yeah.
That is free trade zone. And then you made mention of the African Continental Free Trade Area, in the sense that there are some goods that you can have your business within the continent of Africa without any maybe tariff or tax, if I understood this.
Yeah, without tax.
Then, yeah. Okay, then the fifth one is international institutions. Tamam.
Thank you very much. Now, the benefit of globalization. So what are the benefits of globalization? Since globalization exists, what do we benefit from it? The number one is economic growth. Economic growth. So when you look at the rise of China from poverty, there was a time China was very poor. But when you look at the rise of China from poverty, this is mainly due to global trade and foreign investment. It's mainly because of global trade. If China only produces and without taking it outside, they'll be tired of producing. But because they produce and take outside and they make money, that money they use to develop their country. So economic growth, that's the number one benefit of globalization. The second reason is technology and knowledge transfer. Developing countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, and the likes, we benefit more from technology and knowledge transfer. Before the advent of GSM in Nigeria in 2001, before we talk about mobile phone, GSM, the big phone they hold in 2001, Nigerians don't know how to repair phone. We don't know how to repair phone. But when the phone comes, the GSM comes, and people notice that this thing can spoil. So far, it can spoil. That means that we can also repair. We can also look for a way to repair. That is why we see some repair. So you transfer knowledge of how to repair it. So with globalization, technology will be advancing. We in Africa, there are some things we don't have access to. And from outside country, we have it. They have it. So they transfer it to our country. Transfer of knowledge and technology. That's what. The third reason is job creation. Job creation. So you get job creation. Job will be surplus to foreign companies like ShopRite. When ShopRite established in Nigeria, they will not employ South Africans. They employ Nigerians. Get. So they create job for Nigerians. When Shell established in Nigeria, they employ Nigerian. So there is going to be job. So when they come to your country to establish the company, they create job for you people. Number 4 is large market. Larger market. Let me just put it like larger market. Countries tend to gain access to global customer. They tend to get access to global customer. Let me just give you an example now. Nigerian Nollywood industry. If Nigerian Nollywood industry is not selling movies outside Nigeria, they will remain poor. They will remain poor. That's the fact. But because we sell our movie outside to Netflix and Amazon, so people that watch it through Netflix or through Amazon indirectly contribute to Nigerian economy. They transfer money to Nigeria. You understand? So through larger market, you cannot just produce things. You cannot, if they are doing even the Afrobeat, our singers, their song is outside Nigeria. How did it transfer? How did it from Nigeria? How did it move from Nigeria to outside Nigeria? So they also want to touch a larger market in order to make more money. The more you touch the larger market, the more you make money. China is producing phone, they are producing toys, they are producing home appliances. They send it to Africa, they send it to some part of Europe to touch a larger market. The more you touch the large market, the more you make your money. Understand? The fifth one, the fifth one is cheaper goods and services. Through globalization, you can get cheap product and affordable product from another country. Look at I'll take an example of China also. The phones we use, when iPhone 17 just come out, some people just say you can get iPhone 17 cheaper in China. Instead of getting it in the UK or in getting in USA, you can get it cheaper in China. This is due to globalization. Even some people will go to Dubai to buy phones at cheaper rates and come and sell it in Nigeria. You would think that it is USA made or it is a UK used phone. So through globalization, you get things cheaper, goods and services cheaper in the global market. The sixth one is cultural exchange. Globalization facilitates cultural exchange. It facilitates cultural exchange. Let me just give you an example. The Nollywood movies. So the Hollywood, the American movies industry. When you watch the movies in Africa, you tend to dress like them, you tend to speak like them, you tend to behave like them. The same thing with Nollywood from Nigeria. When they listen to when they watch our movies, they tend to understand Nigerian culture. The Afrobeat also, the music part. So there's cultural exchange in globalization. So it benefits both parties, the recipient country and the country sending them out. Am I communicating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you please let me just take Aliyu? Can you please list the 6 benefits of globalization?
I'm just listening and I didn't note them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can
but
we?
I can state that one of the benefits is that you just said it. It's helps spread culture. So countries who adopt, who interface with other countries, they adopt the culture of those countries.
Thank you very much. Can anyone mention another one for us? Just mention, anyone should mention one again. Is Christabel with us?
Yeah, we got the economic growth.
Okay. Can you
Job
explain?
creation.
Job creation, larger market.
Okay.
Transfer of knowledge and technologies.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, so far as globalization exists, there is also the negative aspect of globalization, which is the criticism of globalization, the negative aspect of globalization. So, as far as we are benefiting from it, there is also the negative part of it. Number one is cultural erosion or cultural erosion. Person. Number one is cultural erosion. We know the Yorubas people to prostrate, normal, to prostrate to great elders. But nowadays, in 2025, only few Yorubas do prostrate because of what they watch in the movies. Maybe what they watch in Bollywood or Hollywood movies. Some even will prefer to greet their elders by shaking their hands. This is due to globalization. So it has a negative effect. So the way you imitate other people's culture, you are trying to erase your own culture, the erosion of your own culture. So that's number one. Number two is loss of local industries. Loss of local industry. Because small companies cannot compete with larger companies that produce cheaper things. The small companies cannot compete with larger companies that produce cheaper things. That's why we have the Nigerian textile industry is dead. The Nigerian textile industry is dead because of you can buy any type of clothes from outside the country, especially in China. China is making tie and dye. China is even making buba and agbada. All these all type of clothes you want, you can get it in China and at cheaper rates. So local industry are dying because they cannot compete with large company in the world. The number three is inequality. Inequality. See, in globalization, rich countries benefit more, while the small country they are being exploited. Rich country benefit more, while the small country, the rich country benefit more, while the small country they have been exploited. Because you see, Africa as a continent, it is believed that Africa as a continent produces less than 3% of the global trade market. Africa as a continent will produce less than 3% of the global trade market. What is in the global trade? We produce less than 3%, but we import more. But we export less. So this is not Nigeria alone. We are talking about Africa as a whole. 54 countries. We produce less than 3% of global trade, but we import more to our continent. So this is affecting us. So that will make the rich country to exploit us. You understand? So we make Asia and the other continents or Europe to exploit us because we don't produce, we buy. We don't produce. Even if we produce at a small percentage. Understand? So which number am I?
Number 3.
Number 4. Is it 3? Number 1.
This is the third one.
This is the third one.
So you're going to 4.
The fourth one is economic vulnerability. Economic vulnerability. economy vulnerability. So country become easily affected by things that happen. The economic of a country become easily affected by things that are happening in any other part of the world. If, let's say, I mentioned that Africa produce less than 3% of the world trade, of the global trade. If anything happen in the world, it will indirectly affect Africa. Let me give you an example. COVID-19. We know that it did not start from Africa. COVID-19 started from outside Africa. Look at during the COVID-19 period, the price of oil increased, transport increased, food increased. Understand? So many things increased during the COVID-19 crisis. And this is because we are being dependent on other countries to boost our economy. See, that's number 4. The 5th one is exploitation by multinational corporation. Exploitation by multinational corporation. Some big companies exploit developing countries. Let me give you an example now. Some people, I don't know if it's true, I've never been to Port Harcourt, but I just want to give an example to Port Harcourt. Some people say in some part of Port Harcourt, there is no clean drinkable water. I don't know if anybody has been to Port Harcourt. There is no clean because of what? Of water pollution.
That's true. We saw on the news.
Understand? Because of water pollution, there is no clean. Understand? This water pollution is caused by what? This multinational corporation, they are extracting oil. They are extracting crude oil from the land, and they are polluting. It happened that there's this man, Kensaro Wiwa, and his man in Delta, in Ijo. So he fought the government, but they eventually killed him because he's trying to stop the interest of Nigerian government and the multinational corporation. So they eventually killed him because, so multinational corporation, they tend to exploit the country, the recipient country. Nigeria, we don't have the necessary equipment. So we ask multinational corporation to come and help us. So, and indirectly, they exploit us. Let's look at, even in ShopRite, even some staff, they don't get 70,000 naira per month. So some staff don't get 70,000 naira per month. Even people working with M10, some of them, entry level, they will not get higher salary. They will just get mega, something small. So they exploit the recipient country sometimes when it comes to multinational corporation in globalization. Any question before we proceed from what we've been doing? Any question before we proceed, please? Any question? Do I proceed? Sorry, I want to take more time. Do I proceed? It's like I'm alone here. Am I alone?
Proceed, please.
Yes, proceed.
Thank you very much.
You
Now-
are not, so please proceed.
Now, we want to talk about multinational cooperation and international economy. I've mentioned ShopRite, I've mentioned Shell, Chevron, MTN. These are multinational corporations. But in terms of concept, what are multinational corporations? So you might see it in your handout as MNCS. So they abbreviate it in some parts. Some parts you will just see it in full: multinational corporation, MNC, and small s, multinational corporation. So what is multinational corporation, or what are multinational corporations? So multinational corporation, these are large companies that operate in many countries. They are large companies that operate in many countries. Large companies that operate in many countries. So we have the example of Shell, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Toyota, and the likes. And so they have headquarters in one country, but branches in different countries. They have headquarters in one country, but branches in different countries. So in international trade, you need them to exist in your country. If you don't have if you don't have them in your country, you will be begging them to come and have a branch in your country because they have some importance. They add their own value. They add to your own economy. No. So what are the importance of multinational corporation in global economy? What are the importance of multinational corporation in global economy? The number one importance of multinational corporation in global economy is that they are the central actors in global economy. They are the central actor. They are the central actors in global economy because they dominate more than 70% of international trade. They dominate more than 70% of international trade. Look at Shell. We have Shell in Nigeria. Yeah, I think you have Shell. We have Total. I think we have Total. We have Shell. We have Chevron. This company you see, they are not only in Nigeria. They are in other countries also. The way they are working in Nigeria, Shoprite is in Nigeria, is in Cote d'Ivoire, is in South Africa, is in Kenya, and the likes. So the way they work in these countries, they are injecting money in the economy of that particular country, and money is circulating through these companies. Look at MTN. They said the logo, the slogan is everywhere you go. You go to Ivory Coast, you go to Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic, South Africa, Cameroon, there's MTN. So they are the central actor because of global economy because they inject more money in global trade. The number two reason is they produce a large percentage of world goods. They produce a large percentage of world goods. Most of the goods you see outside are produced by multinational corporation. So when a company wants to grow, sorry. So when a company wants to grow, they produce goods. How do you call it? They have branches in other companies. They have branches in other countries. Understand? So these branches they have in other countries, they help to boost the economy of that particular country. Understand? So they produce a large percentage of world products or goods. Number three, they control most of the world's international trade. They control most of the world international trade. The is it DSTV? Yeah, DSTV. Yeah, DSTV. We have it in Ghana. We have it in South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, Cameroon. So they control. They control most of the world international trade. So a country cannot do without them because they bring money to that country. Aside from bringing money, they bring job to people in the country. Understand? So number four is they influence global and government policies. They influence global and government policy. This is very tricky. You see, sometimes those multinational companies, sometimes if they are not in support of a particular government, they can support the opposition. Let's take an example now. I'm just giving a random example, not the right reason what is happening. No. Tinubu is currently the president of Nigeria. Let's say some multinational companies, they are not in support of Tinubu. They will support opposition. They will give money to the opposition. Maybe a PDP or ADC or any party that is opposition that is strong. They will give money to them. So when Tinubu will see that they are giving money to them, Tinubu will try to liaise with them. So they sometimes influence government decision on global policies. Yeah. Understand? So sometimes these multinational corporations have more money than a country. Like one company, one multinational corporation can have more money than a whole country. One company can have money than a whole country. Let's say the case of iPhone. If you go to Google now, just ask Google, is iPhone richer than Kenya? Is iPhone richer than Somalia? They will say yes. They will say yes. Because if you want to look at the how the country is rich, you look at its GDP, you look at its annual budget, what they have in budget for 1 year, what their GDP. So sometimes a multinational corporation can have more money than a country. So imagine that a company that has more money than you want to establish in your country and you want to negotiate. You will negotiate in a way that will favor you and the company. Even sometimes it will favor the company than you. That is why I mentioned the case of in Port Harcourt, whereby the people are complaining that they don't have potable water. It is not it is affecting the people of Port Harcourt, but the government is not taking steps to stop it because the government wants to benefit from it. You get? So because they believe that these companies have more money to inject in the economy, so they support, the government support them. Sometimes the government might change policies to favor them. Am I communicating?
Yes.
Can I proceed?
Yes, please.
Yes, please, you can.
Now, two major theories in how do you call it? Theories about multinational corporation. What are the theories on multinational corporation? There is two major theories about multinational corporation. So anytime you hear about theory, is that the belief of people regarding multinational corporation. So when you hear about when you have theory, that what do people believe on it? So in our course, especially in social science courses, no one is perfect in social science course. So that's why we have some advantage, we have disadvantage. We have benefit, we have criticism. So in multinational corporation, what are the two major theories in multinational corporation? Number one theory is the realist theory. Realist theory. While the number two theory is transnational theory. I know you've heard of realism, idealism, and the likes, but this one is realist theory, number one. Number two is transnational theory. Now, let's just take it one after the other and we'll explain what the realists believe on the multinational corporation. What is the belief of the realist? You just have to know that when we talk about the realist belief on multinational corporation, they on their own is that multinational corporations are not important. That is their own belief. Multinational corporations are not important. They believe that multinational corporations are not important. Understand? Now, there are four core beliefs. The number one is that the reason why they say that multinational corporations are not important is that the state, which is the government, is the most powerful actor in the world. Which means that MTN or ShopRite or Shell or Chevron, they are not powerful in Nigeria. The state government, the government is the most powerful. So that is why they are not powerful. They believe that the government influences the decision of multinational corporation. That's the number one belief of the realist. The number two belief of the realist is that military and security are more important than economics. They believe that we don't need to bring multinational corporations to our country to develop our economy. They believe that if you have good soldiers, if your military is very tight and your security is tight, you don't need multinational corporations to help you. That's number two. The number three is that the multinational corporation cannot challenge the state power. Their own belief is that this multinational corporation do not challenge the decision of a government. That is their own belief. That is why they believe that the multinational corporations are not powerful. While the fourth one is that multinational corporations operate because the government allowed them to operate. So if the government is not allowed them to operate, they will not operate. You understand? So these are the four beliefs of the realist. You get? That is why they on their own they believe that the multinational corporations are not important. Now, on the other hand, transnational theory, they believe that the multinational corporations are powerful. The realists say that they are not powerful, they are not important, but the transnational theory, they on their own part believe that they are powerful. Understand? Now, what the four core belief of the multinational of the transnational theory, the number one belief is that power is not only for states, it's not only for government.
Sorry, can you come again for the number one now theory?
What?
Can you come again for the number one?
The realist.
No, transnational theory.
Okay. So the transnational theory on their own part, they believe that the multinational are powerful. Understand? They are important. We must have them in the country. Understand? Now the belief is that power is not only for states. Yeah, when we talk about state, we talk about government. So power is not only for the government. Power is not only for the government. So if a multinational company exists in your country, you must make law also that they are indirectly implicated in. That's the belief. That power is not. So if you make your law and they break your law, that means you did not consider them in your budget or in your law. The number two is multinational corporation also shape global affairs. Look at the transaction MTN do from Nigeria to South Africa. Look at the numbers of countries you will pass through. Understand? So they shape global affairs. That's their own belief. The number three belief is that the world is interdependent, which means that government need them. Government also must depend on them. As they depend on government, government must depend on them. Understand? So they believe that the world is interdependent. So far as the world is interdependent, they must transact together. Multinational corporation must transact together with the government. The number fourth reason is that they influence national policy because of their wealth and reach. They influence national policy. They can influence the Nigerian decision because they are powerful, they have money. So far as Nigeria want them in Nigeria, so far as Nigerian government want them in Nigeria, they will bend some rule, they will bend some law to favor them so that they can establish themselves in Nigeria. Because if they don't bend these laws, they might not want to come to Nigeria. Am I communicating? Am I communicating?
Yes.
Yes.
Can anyone just, in your own language, just explain what you understand about the realist and the transnational theory in your own language? Can anyone just answer this question? I think Omotola want to talk. Her mic is mute. Let me just unmute her. She's not talking. Can anyone explain? In your own understanding, can you just explain briefly what you understand by transnational theory and the realist theory? Just look at your notes and just tell me what you understand.
Can I try?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, for me, I understand that the realist theory believes that the state is the most powerful and the multinational, that's the MNCs, yes, multinational corporations have to succumb to whatever the state decides, and they cannot challenge the decisions of the state. That is the government. And they operate only because they are allowed to by the state. So that's what I understand by the realist.
Okay. What about the transnational? Can anyone talk about transnational? Can anyone talk about the transnational? Okay, you can continue with transnational.
Okay.
Omotola want to talk. Let her talk.
Yes. Let me just try. Okay, so the transnational theory, they believe that that the government are not the only ones that have the power, that they also believe that the multinational corporations also shape the global affairs. They believe that the world is interdependent, and the multinationals also influence the policy. This is because of the wealth they have, so they tend to dictate some things. They influence some decisions that are made because they are wealthy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we have they have positive impact and negative impact in a country. So the multinational companies, they have their positive impact and the negative impact. Let's talk about the positive impact they have in a country. Number one is they bring money. They bring money to a country. If any big company want to come to Nigeria today, they will bring money to Nigeria. That's number one reason. They bring money to the country. Number two, they create jobs for people, because when they come to your country, they employ your citizen. They don't employ outsiders. Even if they employ outsiders, your citizen will more. That's number two. Number three, they introduce technology. Some of the technology, some of the equipment you are lacking in your country, they bring it to your country. Understand? Number four, building of infrastructure. Building of infrastructure. In Nigeria, Shell built some roads in Nigeria. You understand? Because if the roads are bad, it will be very difficult to transport goods. You understand? It will be very difficult to transport crude oil. So they built infrastructure. Understand? Number six. Which number am I? Which number?
Number 5.
Okay. Number 5, the airbuild infrastructure. Or is it number 4 that the airbuild infrastructure?
That's number 4.
Okay, the airbuild infrastructure. Number 5, they increase exports. They increase exports. Number 6, they improve skills and management. Let's look at MTN. MTN brought jobs.
Please, for the number 6.
They improve skills and management. So we look at MTN. MTN established in Nigeria. They are from South Africa. They established in Nigeria. They bring jobs to Nigerian. At the same time, those people that they are employing, they will train them to have some skills that they will not have if they are not working with MTN. You understand? So the same thing, Shell, as mentioned, Shell on their own part, they build roads in Nigeria. There are some roads that are built by Shell. That is counterparty agreement between government, the Nigerian government, and them, that this part of the road, you will do it. Although the government will later take credit for it, but you will build it. So that's it. Now, the negative impact of this the negative impact of these companies. What is the negative impact of these multinational corporations or multinational corporate? Number 1, exploit natural resources. Exploit natural resources. I've given an example. Shell in Delta State, they are exploiting the natural resources. They are taking the crude oil in this area and they are polluting the air and they are polluting the water. So some people, they cannot drink drinkable. They cannot afford potable water that is drinkable because these multinational corporations are exploiting the national resources. They are causing hazard. Number 2, negative impact they have is they may send the profit back to their country. Some of them, when they make the money in Nigeria, they don't put the money in that Nigeria. They send the money back to their country of origin. Understand? So they send the money when they make profit. Although they put capital, they invest. But when they make profit, they take the profits out to their own country. Number 3 negative impact is they may underpay workers. They may underpay workers, that they will not give them good salary. You understand? They may not give workers good salary because, you see, let me just give you an example now. Some companies are in the UK, they prefer to hire people in Nigeria because they believe that if you have to work in the UK, they will pay you at least £1,800. But in Nigeria, if you give them 200,000 to 300,000 naira, people will accept it. Especially those telecommunication company, call centers. If you go to call centers, some of them say they don't touch 200,000 naira because they believe that they can get cheap labor outside the UK. So they established in the UK. They established in Nigeria to get cheap labor. So cheap labor, we know the minimum wage in Nigeria, 70,000. So far, the minimum wage is 70,000. In the UK, 70,000 naira is like 33 pounds. 33 pounds normally, if I have to employ someone in the UK, 33 pounds is salary of 2 hours or 3 hours because 1 hour is 13 pounds. So 33 pounds is like 2 hours and 30 minutes money. So money I will use, imagine 2 hours and 30 minutes money. That is what I will use to pay someone outside Nigeria, outside the UK for a whole month. So they will prefer to employ cheap labor outside the UK so that they get more money. So they can underpay workers sometimes. And number four, negative impact they have is they may dominate local market and kill small business. They may dominate local market and kill small business. Let's look at MTN. You know, we have some telecommunication company in Nigeria, some networks that are for Nigeria. Aside from MTN, I think I'm not too conversant with Nigeria, so you can just correct me on that if I'm wrong. We have MTN, we have Airtel, we have Zain. I think we have Zain before, right? In Nigeria. I'm not sure. I'm just saying what I just know. Like so, but what I'm just wanting to find is that there are some companies that competing with MTN that are Nigerian-based company, but because of the power of MTN, these companies are not competing well. MTN is overpowering them. You get the same thing. Dangote refinery is competing with all these multinational company in the oil sector. So if care is not taken, they might overpower him also. But he also is powerful. He's getting investment from outside the country. So they may kill small business. Understand? That's number four. Number five is they may interfere in government decision. They can change the government decision to favor them. You understand? If Nigerian government have to kill Kensar Wiwa because he's fighting for the people of Ijo, by saying that Shell is polluting the air, they are polluting the water. If they can kill him because of that, because of his advocate, because of his wahala, if they can kill him because of that, because of a multinational corporation, that means they can do anything, they can change anything to favor multinational corporation. So far as that this multinational corporation brings money into the system. So they can also influence election. Multinational corporation influence election. If they don't want a government, they can support the opposition to take over. And they will give the opposition money. Maybe the sitting government is, for instance, the sitting government is making laws that are against them. They will support the, another opposition. So that if the opposition comes, opposition will make law that will support them. Am I communicating?
Yes.
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 Any question before I proceed? Any question before I proceed? We are coming to the last part of this class, the last part of module 2. So I don't know. The last part of module. Should I call it a day here so that you just go and check it, or we should proceed? What do you prefer?
Let's call it a day, please.
Okay.
No. I'm interested at all.
No problem. So the last part of module 2 is the FDI. FDI means foreign direct investment. So you can just try to read on it, try to see the importance of foreign direct investment and the effect or the consequences it has in a country. So any question for me before we end tonight's class? Any question for me before we end tonight's class? I'm checking. Question.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please, I just wanted some clarity. The other one we mentioned in Module 1, the last class, where we mentioned theories of international trade, and we said liberal theory and nationalist. And this one for today, where we are mentioning classical and modern theory. Please, can you just differentiate? Because I think I'm getting them confused.
So he said we mentioned what? Can you repeat your question?
Okay, liberal theory and nationalist theory, they are theories of international trade, right?
Yeah.
So classical and modern theory, they are theories of what? International trade too?
I mentioned classical and
Classical and modern.
okay. So classical and modern theory I mentioned them under globalization, how do you call it? International trade. How do you call it? Can you repeat your question, please? I just want to be sure of what I want to say before I say it out.
Okay. So my question is, under the theories of international trade for
So okay,
module 1.
I get you now. So
Okay.
we talk about philosophy.
So which one is the philosophy and which one is the theories?
That's where we talk about the Marxist point of view, the liberal viewpoint, the Marxist point of view, the liberal viewpoint, the modern viewpoint. Is that part you are making reference to?
No. Maybe I'll just chat to you privately so that I can explain better.
Because we talk about the philosophy, about the international political economy. Under that one, we talk about the liberal viewpoint, the Marxist, and also we talk about the modern viewpoint. That's international political economy.
Okay. So that one is for international political economy.
Yeah. Yeah, we are talking about international trade.
Okay. So
because
yes,
in module 1, we mentioned that we have international economic political, where we talk about the concept, we break down the concept, and we come to the part we talk about IPE, which is international political economy, the philosophy of international political, that's the politics in the economy. What is the philosophy in the politics in the economy? But here we are talking about international trade.
Okay. I understand now. Thank you.
I don't know if I answered your question well.
Yes, I think I understand now. I was mixing them up earlier.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Another question? So in case you don't have any question, what I'll do is someone messaged me that there is no CBT, that a lecturer said there is no CBT. So I'm not aware of that one. That's why I dropped some CBT question for you. But in all cases, even if there is no CBT, it's also advisable. You can just practice the CBT question I drop. Okay, you might not know. It can come to you as a surprise. They can bring CBT and they might not bring it. But if you prepare, it's for your own benefit. So you can I'll drop another question of CBT on this 809. I've dropped 805. I'll drop for 809, which you can just practice on your own. So far as you are practicing, you have just knowledge about it. If you have knowledge about it, it can help you in theory. You get just the CBT can help you. So even if you are not doing the CBT in exam, the knowledge you have about it can help you in theory. So I don't know.
Yes.
No, they said Mr. Edgar, Dr. Edgar said there is no CBT. I'm not aware of.
He wasn't sure.
Nobody has told
I
us
think
that.
he's
What
just
we have.
class. It was a random question. Like it wasn't sure. Like he's just saying it. I don't know if he's.
I did my degree.
Serious.
I did my degree with LC. I did my degree with them, and we did CBT. Understand? Those that did their own last year, those that did their masters last year, they did CBT. Because I have some people.
Even the material that we were given, when they broke down the how they are going to grade our scores, CBT is there.
Okay, so
And no lecturer has told us anything. So let's just work with the information we have. We just assume we are doing CBT.
somebody messaged me that Dr. Edgar said so that there is no
He
CBT.
apparently is the only one that has said so, and he happened not to be any of my. He's not my lecturer.
My lecturer too. So
Actually, I
It
was there
doesn't
when he
matter
said
if
it,
he
but
was or
he
not.
was playful. You know, he said it actually. I was there, but he was like, "Hey, how can a master student come and be answering CBT this and that?" Like he was playful.
yeah.
So I don't know
Oh,
if he's
okay.
serious. But at least, even if we are not doing CBT for this course, like the other courses, and even doing the CBT, like answering the questions, is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not.
At
I'll
least
just
it
drop
will
you the
help.
questions.
It's
I'll just
added
drop
advantage, so it's fine.
so just
And
Yes.
Hawa, I
so
think he wasn't even sure. He was skeptical about it. Just that a lot of colleagues were asking if it was CBT or it's gonna be the written form.
uh-huh.
Yep.
If
So
Of
he
course,
wasn't
and
to you,
sure.
I don't
to
think
you,
that
which
it
one
will
is
be
good?
like the questions will be different from the tutor. Like this one will do his own style, and this one will do his own style, bah?
So
Yes, he
what
mentioned like the questions will be mixed. Each lecturer will bring forth
yeah.
his, and then we attend to any or all.
Even the lecturer don't know the question that will come in the exam. What they do is that they ask them to set question and they give it to the
Yes, he mentioned so.
exam and records. So the exam and record will just pick any random question from the pools. So you can bring 20 questions, two lecturers can be 20, making 40 questions. So exam and records we now pick anyone they like. So the quiz that we do quiz in
And the
December.
questions will be the same. Like the question are the same.
Yes.
Allow.
Like for
Like
all the
if me
tutors.
that I have a different tutor, I knew that you have a different one. Like we'll be answering like same questions
What happened is
for
that
same
those
course.
people that are doing the exam in weekends, they have the same question.
Okay,
Those
yes,
that
yes,
are
it's a
doing the exam in
different timetable.
they have the same question. So people doing the exam in weekend and weekday, they don't have the same question.
Yes, I get it. I get it. I get it.
That's how
Yes,
it works.
because of the different timetable.
Yeah. So because they believe that I'm in the UK now, if you call people in Nigeria that did the exam in weekend, that can I have your question? And they send me my question, their question.
Of course,
That's
of course.
it's not the same.
Okay.
Uh, not the same.
That makes sense now.
Yeah. But to you, what do you think is better? Should we like doing CBT or not doing CBT?
I
Like
want
for
both.
me,
Oh. I
doing
want to do.
CBT is better.
Yeah, doing CBT is better because
I want us to
at
do
least
both.
at least get at least if over 20 in CBT, at least you'll be able to get 15, if not 20.
Yes,
So,
At
exactly.
least to
Yes, of
share your
course
We
maths.
should
now.
do both.
so, hopefully we'll do it. In case we are not doing it, that means you will have to read a lot
Hey,
for
God, I
Like
beg.
I think the CBT will be more easier
yeah,
and not time
Yes.
consuming.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
So
If
the
we are
quiz though, you wanted
if
to
the
say
person
something
is
about the
familiar
quiz.
with the system.
yeah, sure. So this is the end of our tonight's class. Thank you very much. I really appreciate.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Mr.
so
Akanji. It
much.
Thank
was
you so
Thank
a
you
much.
good
so
God bless
class. It
much.
you.
was so interactive.
Thank you
Thank
very
I
much.
you.
really enjoyed, like personally, I enjoyed the class.
Thank you.
Same here. Thank you so much.
Have a good
Thank you
night.
so much. We are grateful.
You're welcome. Bye.
Good
Oh.
night.
Thank you,
Sorry, Mr.
Bye.
Akanji.
Akanji, I wanted to say something. I don't know if you are total with Fatima, Dr.
And
Fatima. Like she fixed a class on Friday, like
yeah,
five, I think five. I don't know. Are
is
you
it
Fatima Adam? Is
803?
yes, 803 area studies.
Yeah.
So she fixed a class on Friday by I think 5 to 6:30 or 6:20. Is it?
Oh, it's not. Aware of that. This week I'm not that cool. I'm not that good. I'm not feeling well.